Guys, what can I say? I like a paranormal shifter romance. What can I say? I'm an easy woman. You know how you would catch me in a cave? How you would trap me? Put a paranormal shifter romance somewhere. It has to have yearning, tension. The MMC has to be absolutely in love with that woman, and she doesn't even realize it's happening. Yeah, you caught me. The net would fall on my head as I speak. You know what I'm saying? Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing a book review, a year in a review, whatever. Okay, we're in 2026 and I wanted to go over all the books I read in 2025. I read a lot of books. I read 130 to be exact. Some books were repeats of a book that I've already read, but I still count them, of course. And I have a lot of thoughts and I wanted to show you guys what I actually learned from reading all these books, because most of them, if not all, were romance. Like, I could probably count on my hands which one hand how many weren't romance. That is my preferred genre. A lot of them traumatized me. Some of them I learned some things. Some of them made me cry, and some of them made me question my will to live. Book reading wrap up of 2025. Let's get started. A bunch of the books I read were on my Kindle, so a lot of them you're not going to see, but if I have them physically, I'll hold them up. If not, follow my Goodreads. I'm going to link my Goodreads down below and show you guys where to follow it, because I really feel like that will give you a good insight to what I had to read this year and what I went through. So I have certain categories of romance that I read this year, okay? Sports, paranormal, cowboy was in there. There was one billionaire one. No mafia made it this year. I'm sorry, guys. And then there's like fantasy, obviously, and then just like regular romance fiction. Okay, there was probably a handful of historical romance in there as well. I do love a good historical romance. Oh my gosh. So I also wanted to talk about what I learned by reading so much romance about the way romance is written nowadays, and what is also like not good based off of the patterns I started to notice. For the fall, I bought myself 4 books. Okay, I liked 1 of 4. I realized I don't like seasonal related books. They irritate me for some reason. Kindling was one that I bought. Didn't care for it. I was bored. Didn't care for it. I think this is for a specific demographic, one of a white middle-aged demographic. And I'm not even saying that to be any kind of way. It just wasn't my vibe. This book, oh my gosh, they talked so much. It's called The Game Plan by Kristen Callahan. They talked so much about the male's virginity. It was a football romance. I don't read football romance. I never read football romance. And after reading this, I remembered why. There was just something about this that was so utterly boring. And these 2 people, they're siblings, or the best friend. Ugh, God, that's how much I don't care for it. Her sister is married to a football player. The football player has a best friend, and they spend like a week together at the house. And I was just like, okay. And then it's like them slowly falling in love, but not really knowing if they can juggle her wanting to be an independent woman, having her own job and her own life, and him being like all over the world or all over the country traveling. And like, it was just boring. And I felt like they put so much emphasis on the man's virginity. I was like, I don't care if he's a virgin. What's that got to do with the plot? Like, all I want is basically birth control for all billionaire romances. This book was so horrible. In a way that's like nothing inherently bad happened in it. This is by Lyra Parrish, by the way, or Lyra Parrish. Nothing inherently bad happened in it. It was just that freaking boring, and also so cheesy in a way that I didn't like. Like, I like cheesy, but it was just almost like too on the nose. It's about a girl who owns like a bakery, and the guy who's a millionaire in the town or whatever, and they fake a romance. Okay, the sprayed edges I actually like. I don't hate sprayed edges. However, I didn't like this book. It got to the point where it was like so cringy and cookie cutter that it was almost like watching a Hallmark movie, but in book form. It was like the writing was not necessarily great. It was very like, is banal the word? I don't even know, but this actually gave me a cold. I felt sick after reading this. I was like, I'm never gonna get my time back. I absolutely hated every single second of this. If It Makes You Happy is one of my top reads of 2025.
Well, yeah.
This book was so freaking good. If you like Gilmore Girls, One Tree Hill, maybe the OC, not really. The small town vibes. Listen, I'm from a small town. I hate it here. But this book made me want to be in this small town. It is essentially about a woman who, she just got divorced. She moves to this town that her mother and father used to live in, okay? Her mother has passed and she has to take over the mother's, I believe, bread and breakfast. And the guy next door, who is like the town's, like, just everybody loves him. He's like the Luke, but like more positive and less grouchy. Everybody loves him. He helps everybody out. He has 2 daughters and like he's raising them on his own because he's divorced also, and his wife is not really with the kids. But their relationship is so cute, so funny. Like, guys, this book made me wonder. This is PR for the dad community. Okay, I actually loved this. I was like, this is great. And the ending made me cry. Don't know if it was something in the air, but it was very sentimental and cute. Lila Sage's Soul Searching, I'm still reading that book. I refuse to DNF it because I love her so much, but somehow that book was not good for me. One fantasy series that I actually ended up reading, and I'll talk about some of the others I read. Tahira Mafi, she wrote Shatter Me, well-known, beloved book series. This Woven Kingdom series changed my life.
The talented girls, the amazing girls, the guys, they're just like over there.
It changed my perspective. I'm not even gonna go through each and every book, but it's essentially a story about a girl who is a long lost princess. Okay, she has powers. She has to hide them because in her society they don't allow these powers to exist. And then it's her like story of trying to get back to her kingdom, her people, because the people who also have powers also hide their powers as well. And like her romance love triangle with the current prince of one society and one evil prince of another society. This book had me so confused because I was rooting for the wrong guy the whole time until about I think like this book was when I was like, the second one I was like, oh yeah, no, I no longer am rooting for certain people. The reason why this book is good is because to me, it reinforced and taught me what yearning actually is. Romance authors, what I realized after reading 130 romance books this year, do not know how to write yearning. They only know how to write lust. They only know how to write explicit and physical romance or tension. Like, why is everybody so freaked out in romance nowadays? Why is everybody literally tongues down each other's throats? What happened to yearning? This book reminded me, after I read this, I was like, everything I read after this was garbage. I was like, oh no. Tahira Mafi, I love you. King Cyrus, I love you. Alize, I love you. Okay, it's Persian inspired. There's dragons. It's great. And this is also what I mean when I say I like a little bit of YA. I've moved towards YA as a genre because adult romance has been pissing me off. So like, yeah, this was amazing. No notes. Like, what else can I say? Great series. Percy Jackson and the Olympians. I love this series. I talk about it all the time on my Instagram, my TikTok. I'm gonna make a video, by the way, about Percy Jackson series, the show, because I love the show. These books also remind me of why I love YA so much, and I will never move up past it. Percy Jackson series, if you don't know about them, please get up out of that rock, babe. Okay, it's been out for years, centuries, if not. Okay, I reread them last year because I was like, this is great. Titan's Curse is my favorite book, by the way. Annabeth and Percy are the standard. Percebeth is the standard when it comes to romance, friends, lovers, romance. In fact, to me, they are one of the greatest romance stories written. Yeah, like to me, like they're a peak. Like, I haven't read one that's this good, honestly. Okay, moving into another one, Mate by Ali Hazelwood. This one was really, really good. I don't even know what to say. Bride, I liked Bride, but I liked Mate better. People said they didn't like Bride as much. They didn't like this one as much because it was predictable, but I liked it better. Guys, what can I say? I like a paranormal shifter romance. What can I say? I'm an easy woman. You know how you would catch me in a cave? How you would trap me? Put a paranormal shifter romance somewhere. Okay, it has to have yearning, tension, and the MMC has to be absolutely in love with that woman, and she doesn't even realize it's happening. Yeah, you caught me. The net would fall on my head as I speak. You know what I'm saying? Ali Hazelwood, I love her. I don't really know what to say beyond that. but it's basically about a woman who finds out that she is half hybrid, like human and werewolf, and an alpha is in charge of taking care of her. Okay, her best friend, which was the first book, Mercy, is a vampire. There's like a whole universe and realm in this book that I just absolutely love. I love world building around these things. I love it when they mix it into modern day, okay, because it is modern day. Okay, I liked everything. I barely had notes. There was a cult storyline, plotline that came in the middle of the book out of nowhere that kind of confused the hell out of me, but it actually made a lot more sense when you think about it from the beginning of the story. So I liked it. This was like probably one of my easier 5-star ratings. Also, did you guys know my average Goodreads rating this year was a 3.1 or a 3.2? I did not have a good year in reading books, and I think that's why this year I'm diversifying my reads and stop, like, I'm not gonna focus too much on the romance, because oh my gosh, I read a lot of crap. We have Liz Tom40 Rewinded Back. There's not much to say here. Liz Tom40 only knows how to write good books. She's A++++++. Okay, I got into her books in 2024, realized she's amazing. She's a genius. She is amazing at what she does. Okay, and I instantly was like, oh wow, where have you been all my life? Everyone recommended it on Book Talk, but I don't trust Book Talk. Book Talk is where books go to die, and where recommendations feel like someone's hitting you over the head, the scariest thing I've ever heard. Okay, but this was good. Guys, this was actually really good. It was a hockey romance. Also, another tidbit, I read 26 hockey romances this year, so that's probably why my rating was so low this year. I had 3.2 average rating because most of it was garbage. Okay, this one was great though. Okay, best friends to lovers. Every other chapter is a flashback to when they were growing up. You figure out why they stopped being friends, and it's a valid reasoning. I do wish that she explored more of the female main character's storyline, but this is the last book in the series of all of the Windy City books. Windy City series is the series, and you get to see the one character who honestly from the first book wants to be in love so badly, and you realize why he can't fall in love with anyone he meets is because he's not over the one girl that he met when he was little. What can I say? I had a good time. Was it a bit long? Yeah. Do I like spread edges on this one? No, but I had a good time. Lauren Asher is what happens when you publish Wattpad. A little bit, okay? She can write a great synopsis, premise, idea, but when it comes to execution, I'm always very disappointed, and it's because her books are too long. This book was about 560 something pages. I didn't enjoy it, but I would have enjoyed it if she had shortened the story. I think I'm over the grumpy sunshine romance nonsense. I'm very much over it because it allows and portrays men to be assholes, which men can be assholes, but in a way that's almost like telling women that you are gonna fall in love with an asshole and he'll change who he is because of you and your punani. And I hate that. I hate a grumpy romance. I like one where the person, if they're quote unquote grumpy, if they're not grumpy, they're just misunderstood. I don't like men who are grouchy. I don't like long romances, and I don't like long-winded romances. This one took forever to get interesting. I did like the OCD representation in this book, however. I really enjoyed it. That was the only like driving force that got me to the end of the book. But for the man's character, no, get rid of that. I didn't enjoy it as much as I should have. One Golden Summer, I read this on my Hawaii trip. It was cute. Carly Fortune, she writes great summer reads. I would recommend. I didn't love it as much as the other ones, but I think that I was just annoyed that the main character took so long to realize the things that she was supposed to realize. And I was like, it's right in front of your face, honey. Please don't piss me off. But it's basically like a summer romance where she goes back and lives with her grandmother. She's a photographer, and the guy across the lake is very charming and it's cute. And he's a character that was in the first book. So like, you get to see what happens to him in the future. So yeah, did I like it? It was okay. I was bored, but somebody would like this. Abby and Eminez's Say You Remember Me. Oh my gosh. Yes. I love this one. You know why? Because it was simple, straightforward, nothing crazy. And I liked the family dynamics in this one. There's a woman in here, she basically goes home to take care of her mother who has Alzheimer's, okay? The family has to try and figure out how to take care of her. It's a chaotic thing. But she meets this guy and goes on a date with him the night before she has to move to take care of her mother. And they have a great connection, and the whole book is them trying to stay together even though they live so far apart, and they have to travel to see each other, and he can't move to be with her because he started a practice because he's a vet. It was so cute. Did I like the TikTok references and the millennial references in this book? No. Personally, I wanted to stab myself in the face, but I enjoyed this. I thought it was fun. Another thing too, I don't like a man bun. This is what I mean when I'm like, think that I should be able to read a book and not know what age you are. So those are all the physical books that I purchased, but like there are other books I read online, obviously, and I have notes on those books, okay? What I would say is I read a lot of alien romance. Guys, don't sleep on alien paranormal romance, okay? Those books have some of the most quality world building, politics, nonsense, hierarchies, social structures that I've ever read. Girl, I got the bug. I think I read mainly alien romance, which is really weird. I need to be checked, okay? But those romances, don't sleep on the aliens. They're weird, but they're customs. They're intriguing, okay? And if you read anything by Ruby Dixon, she writes the great romances that are like, the men are they're just so fluffy and soft and so down bad for the women, and there's yearning. That's what I like. I like to see yearning. So I read a lot of that this year. Ruby Dixon's probably some of the best ones I've read this year. I'm gonna go on my phone right now. We're gonna open up that Goodreads. Ursa Dax, I like her series with the rancher romances. Guys, cowboys and rancher romances, I didn't know I liked that, but apparently I do. I think that might be the only person who I actually like Ruby Dixon. I like her alien romances. The other ones I read, I didn't really care for. Sarah Blue, the marriage hex, I actually did like. That one was cute. Juliet Cross, some of hers are actually cute as well. Deep End by Ali Hazelwood, not my favorite. It was supposed to be a little bit more PG-13, PG-17, whatever. Didn't care for it. I went to book club for it and talked about it. Didn't care for it. Okay, Hannah Bonham Young, found her this year. I like everything she writes. Next of Kin, Next to You, anything by Hannah Bonham Young I enjoyed. Like that's just like I like her writing. She represents people who you don't really think about. She does a lot of like mental health representation and physical disability representation, which I really thoroughly enjoyed reading about. Elsie Silver, Wildcard, that wasn't the only Elsie Silver book I read this year. That was an Elsie Silver book I read this year. I read Heartless. I read some of her old stuff. I don't like Elsie Silver's writing.
Okay, don't worry.
That's gonna ruffle some feathers. I just don't think it's for me. I think she writes a lot of the same stories over and over again, and I don't really like that. I do love a cowboy romance. Giddy up. Love a cowboy romance. However, Elsie Silver, I didn't thoroughly enjoy those, and that's okay. Elliot Fletcher, Whiskey Business and Scotch on the Rocks, such a good series. Guys, I really liked it. Whiskey Business I liked better, but it was so like Scottish Isle. Think Scottish Isle women who are there, who are friends and who go back to their hometown and have to like do certain businesses and stuff like that, and they fall in love with like the guy who's from there. It's their hometown and stuff, but it's so cute, sweet, and like cozy. Like I loved Elliot Fletcher's books. Those were really good. Stephanie Archer, I don't like her books, but I also keep reading them, and I will be reading the one that she comes out with next month. Stephanie Archer, her books, it's like yes but no. This very Wattpad-esque. Like I wish that it was a bit more upped for a book that's published, you know? I think that I like that everyone's connected in the series. It's a big fat hockey romance. There's like 5 books or something, but I didn't like them as much as I should have, but I read all of them, so I don't know what that says about me. Chelsea Curto is to me, lesser version of Stephanie Archer. Like Stephanie Archer, I have qualms with her books, but Stephanie Curto, I dislike her books even more because they're so predictable and cringy, and like the writing, guys, the diction between the characters, it grinds my gears, because why would you speak like that as a character? There's something about her writing that feels so like people don't talk like this, and it takes me out of the story, you know? When I should be enjoying the story, I can't focus. Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry, that is probably my lowest ranked Emily Henry book. I didn't care for the flashbacks. That book felt more like fiction, literary fiction, than romance, so I didn't like it that much. But I read it, so there's that. Tara DeWitt, Left of Forever, thought that one was cute and fun. Bailey Hannah, love her cowboy ranch romances, loved all of them except for the most recent one, Wit's End, but I read all of them. They were great. Okay, Wild and Wrangle by Lila Sage, I love Lila Sage, so another cowboy romance. Cowboy romances to me is like, it's up my alley, except for when Elsie Silver writes it. I'm sorry. King of Envy was the only billionaire romance I read this year, and thank God. I finally have moved on and gotten out of the mental headspace of billionaire romance. Now, am I any better off by reading hockey romance? No. But I really think I've aged out of it. Billionaire romance to me, I only want to read that in Wattpad. Especially with what's going on in the world today, I don't care to read about people who have a lot of money. But I love that one because it was a black female main character, and Vuk and Ayana, I think her name was. It was very cute. Okay, loved the fan art in that one. I actually wish that I had kept, or I had purchased the physical copy of the book. I don't have the physical copy, but I did really enjoy that one. First Time Caller by BK Morrison, I read that and it was mid. It was okay. I did get bored very quickly into the book, but it was okay. It's not for me, guys. It's so crazy because it's like, oh, it's a contemporary, which I love contemporaries, but like, it wasn't for me, guys. It wasn't for me, and I hate that about myself because I really thought that it was gonna be like for me. You know what I'm saying? People Watching by Hannah Monroe Young, I didn't enjoy. That was the only Hannah Monroe Young book I read last year that I didn't enjoy. It was just too lustful, not a lot of romance going on. I did read a couple audiobooks this year, which I rarely do. Bound by Ali Hazelwood. I got the ARC on NetGalley. She sent fan art for me in the mail. Love her, and I loved, what is it called, Two Can Play. I enjoyed those audiobooks. Lana Ferguson, I read The Mating Game. Did I like The Mating Game? Not as much as I like The Fake Mate, but it was okay. It was a werewolf shooter romance, and I was like, all right. All About Love by Bell Hooks, I did read. That wasn't romance, but it was about love. It took me 2 years to read that book because every time I read it, it felt like a heavy therapy session, but it was great. I'm reading Communion by Bell Hooks this year. The Tyrant Alpha's Rejected Mate. Never again will I read such a thing, but however, I liked the drama, so I kind of enjoyed it. Like, was it ridiculous? Yes. Would I say it was amazing? Would I recommend it? No, but I enjoyed it, so yeah. The Wolf King by Lauren Powell. I'll say, girl, I didn't like The Wolf King. It was a mix of Outlander, and I don't know, I didn't like it because to me it felt like so Wattpad. And I think that it was written originally on Wattpad because every chapter barely moved, like in the story, like we barely moved ahead in time. And I was like, that's really weird and suspicious. I don't really like that. That's probably one of the last books I read in 2025. And it just made me like, ugh, it was good in the beginning. Okay, there was just something about it that I was just like, this feels like a copy and paste, but like not elevated in writing. I'm gonna name some books that I read that were historical romance. Eliza Braden, I read one of her books this year. She has a Scottish romance series. Anything by Eliza Braden is amazing. I want to do another video talking about why I think romance books are great but being poorly written nowadays. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you made it to the end. I hope that you saw some books that you also read and enjoyed, that you maybe had some similar grievances as me, or maybe you didn't and you enjoyed some of them. We could have different opinions. That's completely fine. I hope you guys follow me on Instagram. I can't believe I have 14,000 followers, which is freaking crazy, so follow me there. TikTok, I'm almost at 30k, so follow me there. I always talk about my books on there. Also subscribe to this channel, like, share, comment what you guys thought about the books that you read in 2025. My goal for next year is to only read 80 books. I'm gonna be way more picky because I read a lot of crap last year. I think of the 130 books I read, I really liked maybe 30 of them. Maybe like 30, 35. I hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you next time. Bye.